Be prepared. The March eclipse didn't end when it appeared to. It merely went silent. And now, the true wave is finally making its presence known. That moment on March 29th created a tear in the fabric of reality that never fully sealed. While the masses moved forward, a select few continued to sense it, as if the heavens had been punctured, allowing something otherworldly to seep through. The solar eclipse continues to exert its influence. Here's the reality. Certain energies are meant to be transient, but this one persisted, and now it's intermingling with all other current phenomena. Energetic storms, cosmic shifts. This transcends mere meteorological events. This isn't simply solar activity. This is the aftermath of a gateway that remains active weeks after its initial opening. And if you've recently experienced an inexplicable drain in motivation, as if your vitality suddenly disappeared, know that you aren't being idle. That's not your natural state. An external force is drawing your energy into stillness. I'll delve into the specifics of this phenomenon shortly. But first, there's an unusual occurrence in the celestial sphere. The sky isn't behaving according to normal patterns. Your observations aren't imagined. The atmosphere is displaying signs of disturbance, unexpected tempests, and unusual atmospheric tension. A sunspot that should have vanished has mysteriously reappeared, active and emanating flares. This isn't mere coincidence. It's a deliberate pattern that demands attention. The atmosphere appears trapped in a cyclical pattern, replaying an unfinished sequence from March. This isn't residual energy. It's dynamic, reactive, almost consciousness-like. When solar flares and earthly storms begin creating a mutual feedback loop, we're witnessing more than weather patterns. We're observing resonance. Our planet is responding. It's maintaining pressure. And whatever forces the eclipse awakened haven't yet found their resolution. We're experiencing an incomplete energetic release. Until this resolution occurs, reality will continue to exhibit increasingly unusual phenomena. The eclipse didn't leave us. Instead, it's accompanying us. We remain within its influence. Not the physical eclipse naturally that's weeks past, but its energetic imprint, its lingering echo, didn't dissipate. It expanded, it grew, and it became embedded in our atmosphere like an invisible electromagnetic field. This isn't about introspection or spiritual healing or personal development. This isn't a transformational phase. This is a period of adaptation, because something fundamental shifted during March, and we're now learning to exist within this altered reality. Some individuals experience it as a temporal lag, as if their existence is slightly desynchronized with reality. Decisions feel viscous. Communication becomes distorted. Every action requires additional effort. Time itself feels more dense, as if reality has become more viscous. You aren't misaligned. The universal frequency has altered around you. This isn't psychological. It isn't individual. The distortion exists in our environment. The atmosphere remains charged, like a spiritual radiation field encircling humanity, subtly altering our perceived reality. And here's the aspect rarely discussed. The intervals between events feel different. Not just personal experiences, not just interactions, but the spaces between thoughts, actions, and moments. It's as if the connective tissue of reality has been rewired. Empaths are the first to detect it. Those sensitive to subtle energies awaken to a strange underlying frequency permeating everything. Some experience precognitive dreams, witnessing future events, or recalling memories that haven't manifested. This isn't temporary. This isn't emotional. This is ongoing fallout, and it continues to descend. Some watchers never cease their vigilance. They merely shift their gaze temporarily before returning. A significant sunspot has re-entered our field of view. This transcends scientific observation. 2 weeks ago, it vanished behind the sun's far side, presumably beyond reach, but it endured. Now it's returned. More aggressive, more volatile, already generating M-class flares. But viewing this purely as scientific data misses its deeper significance. Ancient civilizations didn't perceive the sun as merely a celestial light source. They recognized it as a conscious entity, a presence that observed, evaluated, and occasionally intervened. Returning sunspots, especially powerful persistent ones, weren't viewed as passive phenomena. They were interpreted as returning observers, indicators of cosmic attention. And this particular one didn't simply return. It waited. It traversed the sun's dark side unobserved. Now it faces Earth again, displaying increased activity. It's as if something is conducting a planetary scan. The eclipse created an opening, and now this solar entity has returned to examine what was awakened. Consider if the sun isn't merely observing. What if it's accessing ancient memory? Individuals more attuned to subtle energies have already begun sensing it. Unexplained anxiety surges, physical disorientation, ocular pressure, sudden premonitions of approaching change. Even if you can't articulate it, you aren't experiencing delusion. You aren't paranoid. You're detecting something that has returned, something that communicates through energy rather than words. And currently, these waves are intensifying because the sun has redirected its attention. And something beyond it is stirring to consciousness. The immobility you're experiencing isn't failure, it's energetic aftermath. Remember my earlier mention about unexplained lack of motivation and forward momentum. This explains it. Currently, many are experiencing what feels like an energetic holding pattern. They attempt to perform tasks, send communications, organize spaces, maintain connections, yet find themselves unable to act. Not from lack of desire, but from energetic interference. It's not exhaustion. It's not emotional depletion. It's something more mysterious. A kind of existential resistance permeates the atmosphere, freezing normal energy flow. You're experiencing what could be termed storm drag. That's the most accurate description. A magnetic pull affecting not the physical body, but the spirit, as if a larger universal system is experiencing overload and temporary shutdown, and you're caught in its delay. Plans dissipate before manifestation. Something is interrupting the normal flow, not as punishment, but as necessary pause. This isn't resistance, it's intervention. This results from spiritual atmospheric conditions, not personal inadequacy. You aren't lazy or regressing. You're caught in suspended energy, a cosmic pause where forward movement lacks traction. Most disconcerting is the fact that even conscious effort to generate momentum results in renewed stillness, as if your energy system is responding to a deeper yet undecoded signal. You aren't malfunctioning, you're processing. But atmospheric conditions are preparing for significant shift. When it occurs, the resistance will dissolve, and what follows may not allow adjustment time. Sometimes universal systems create temporary interference to break established patterns. If reality feels unstable, disconnected, unusual, it's not because something's wrong. It's because something finally disrupted established patterns. The March 29th solar eclipse wasn't merely symbolic darkness. It was an active disruption of normal broadcast, a forced redirection, an energetic surge, powerful enough to disrupt the unconscious rhythms most people followed. For many, it accomplished exactly that. So if familiar patterns no longer function, that's appropriate. They shouldn't. Your previous path may have been comfortable, but that doesn't indicate continued alignment. These unusual days, this sensation of reversed or altered current, it's part of necessary disruption. Not to cause damage, but to break unconscious patterns you didn't recognize. Automatic responses only function in stable conditions. These conditions aren't stable anymore, and that's intentional. Energy is reconfiguring itself. The magnetic field shows instability, yes, but this instability is awakening people from unquestioned patterns. The resistance, pauses, redirections aren't accidental. They're intentional signals demanding attention. The truth is, the universal current is shifting. Attempting to maintain old patterns within this new frequency will result in consistent blockage. That's not failure. That's feedback. Something greater communicates through this static, suggesting slower pace, different perception, awareness of what no longer responds to your call. Because what resists movement in this new energy was never meant to persist. When Earth's foundation trembles, something beneath seeks emergence. The sky wasn't the only barrier breached in March. The eclipse didn't just open celestial portals, it activated something below. Now that buried pressure begins movement. Recently, Earth's vibrations have intensified. Earthquakes, deep resonances, unusual seismic activity. Not enough for major headlines, but sufficient to disturb collective consciousness. When Earth moves this way, it's never random. This transcends geology. This is pressure release. Pressure building not just in tectonic plates, but in underlying energetic layers. Earth's crust retains trauma memory. When skies experience disturbance, Earth responds. Our planet isn't a passive observer of cosmic events. It's an active participant. During the eclipse, something shifted deeper than our understanding. That ancient pulse, residing beneath soil, ocean, and stone, was awakened. Not broken, not released, but disturbed. It's communicating. Now the tremors, fissures, subtle underground movements carry messages not for fear, but for awareness. When Earth moves this way, it's releasing more than physical pressure. It's releasing memory, something ancient and powerful in its silence. Remarkably, sensitive individuals aren't just feeling it terrestrially. They're experiencing it during sleep. Dreams become weightier. Bodies resonate without cause. Living spaces feel altered without explanation. Everything connects. This isn't aftershock, it's after-echo. Something long dormant has awakened. Some individuals sense unspoken truths. You may have noticed it. That sensation of being observed, not fearfully, but attentively. Like gazes linger unusually long. Like strangers feel inexplicably familiar or intensely present. You aren't experiencing paranoia. You're being truly seen. During energetic peaks like now, with solar flares, eclipse, aftermath, and magnetic charges still active, spiritually awakened individuals become more noticeable. Not by choice, by frequency. Your energy field, your spiritual body, becomes more transparent, more visible. And others, even without understanding energy, sense it. They notice something inexplicable. Their responses change. You're no longer energetically invisible. You're luminous. And some people struggle with direct light. It's subtle. Someone suddenly confides without reason. Another recoils from your words. Someone stares too intently. Another avoids eye contact. This isn't social awkwardness. It's spiritual visibility. You're becoming reflective, and mirrors disturb those unprepared to face their reflection. This isn't about superiority. It's about exposure. Because in these times, When reality itself is charged, your soul speaks louder, and not everyone around you is prepared for its message. So if you're feeling misunderstood lately, or noticing unusual reactions from others, trust your perception. Your light has intensified, and not everyone can adjust to its frequency. Clear skies don't guarantee calm atmosphere. An invisible storm surrounds us. The March 29th eclipse may be historically recorded, but its influence continues. Your thoughts scatter, sleep patterns change, silence feels heavier, more significant. This isn't imagination, it's field disturbance. The air carries not mood, but memory. We walk through remnants of solar flares, magnetic disturbances, and that portal we never truly exited. Most remain unaware. They'll attribute it to stress, mental fog. But sensitive ones, you already feel reality's underlying vibration. And most remarkably, belief isn't required for its influence because the transmission continues, and its next broadcast might redefine everything. If you've stayed with me, I appreciate your attention. If this content resonated with you and you'd like more, please consider subscribing. Your support means everything. Share your experiences or thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.